Hello, welcome back. So with Syracuse more or less recovered from the plague, I think we're potentially ready to strike out here with a fairly small, slightly plague-damaged army. And I think we're going to move on this town here, whose name I forget, although it's actually under siege. That's interesting. So potentially we're going to have to fight some Numidians if we do go there. I don't think this force alone is going to be enough to take on Sparta, but that would be another option to potentially look into once we can build this up a little bit more. But I think whatever is there is going to be possible to take down with this force, so we should be okay. Elsewhere, we have successfully taken out two of what must be Numidia's strongest armies, and I think we're now ready to capitalize on that and take over their next two towns, which are Numidi and Tingi. We also have a nice force here in Thapsus, which we could potentially move out. I think Thapsus is doing reasonably well. If we drop them to a low tax rate, we could actually send out a few of these units, especially the equites. That would be another fairly decent option. That's something to potentially look into next turn, I think. We've done enough for this turn. So our navy here is just going to potentially back up our westernmost port, just in case Spain tries to do something. I'm not sure why they would attack us, but good to have something for that, just in case. They do appear to be backing off now. I'm pretty sure they were hanging around there for a few turns, so I think that's still the right choice. Equites at Cirta, that's good, we're gonna send those along pretty quickly. Public baths at Carthage, I'm hoping... no, that's not really made them feel too much better. Awesome Temple of Vulcan, that's gonna give them extra experience, any units we do build. Can't really justify the cost right now though. I think what we do need is... there is definitely at least one town that is crying out, yeah, the Proconsul's Palace here in Lilybaeum. So drop them to a low tax rate and just buy that to tide them over. Over in Carthage, let's see, I'm hoping this has actually dropped the squalor. Yeah, it has dropped the squalor, so that's good, I think. Still says 70%. Not sure how to feel about that. And I just want to buy something that's going to make them happier. Of these choices, none really suit. Yeah, none of those are going to make anyone any happier, so that's not really a good choice. Right, Quintus here. He's on his way to Armenia. More importantly, let's see what we can actually figure out with this spy. I'm sure there must be a town down here. We can see the roads literally leading to it. It's a very weak garrison there. Should be pretty easy to take down. Assuming we can be confident that there are no Numidian forces near Leptis Magna to worry about. Potentially just the force from Thapsus alone could get the job done. I think just a force of a few cavalry should be able to do that pretty quickly. We've got our factionaire here, he's got a pretty strong bodyguard unit. We just send him out before he dies of old age, might as well make him accomplish something. I'm not sure going full cavalry is a great choice here, but might be the best option we have, just to get there in good time. We can always hire a few mercenaries when we get there, so that should be okay. Leptis Magna. Never do anything here. I think we're mainly going to focus on recruitment, and I also want to deal with this little rebel army. Seems to just be javelin men, so should be fairly easy to deal with. They don't want to fight us, which is another good sign. Let's just take them on. Try and clear them out. Otherwise they're going to pillage and cause problems for our income and our public order and much else besides. Plus I'm thinking of filing some infantry over, so it will be good to take this unit out. Take this small army, I guess you'd call it, out, and then we can start filing some Stati over to our hopefully soon to be conquered new town. This shouldn't be too deep, literally just charge them and rout them. Right, spread out. Let's see. There is something in the back there which looks slightly different. Is that peasants in the front? I think it might be. Peasants in the front and 2 units of javelin men in the back. That's going to be extremely easy to take out. There is a temptation to properly surround them, just to absolutely minimize the losses. Let's have a go at that. I want to ideally stay out of their range. Okay, they are actually going to make a move. We're going to have to attack straight away, I think. Should be able to rout them very easily. That's 1 down. 2 down. Let's just grab them before they can throw their javelins at us.
Great gods be praised! The enemy general is... The enemy army is in flight! Pursue them and drive them from the battlefield!
And now we wait. I don't know how it's taking them so long to chase down a man on foot, but there we go. That couldn't have gone much better, but admittedly, against some very easy opposition there. They still probably could have beaten 1 unit of Hastati, so it's for the best that we clear them out. And we are just going to keep pushing on. Looks like we've actually improved too. We've got extra command fighting against rebels, which is nice. This guy's only 18 years old, so that's definitely going to come in handy. 19 now. It's definitely going to come in handy at some point, so that's good to have. Let's keep pushing him on. See what else we see. Can't build watchtower in enemy territory. Okay, so that was the border there, but yeah, I think we just crossed it at the bridge.
Engage the enemy. Move to
2 more turns and we'll be attacking them. It's pretty tempting to recruit the Balearic slingers, actually. I think I will build a watchtower. I'm not sure that's worth the money, but still a nice thing to have.
Orders. Orders. Engage the
I'm just gonna go straight for it. Try to send some cavalry to back the guy up. Should be pretty safe to send out the mercenary cav as well, although we don't want to leave this place completely undefended. We'll be a little bit careful there. End of turn report. Supposedly we're making money. I don't feel like we're making much money. We're only building in 1 or 2 towns. We want to bring our various naval units together.
Ready to sail. Set sail. Ready to sail. Out of move, sir. Fleet ready.
Just because we know there is some pirates floating in this kind of area here, so definitely don't want to go over with our... I think he's our faction leader. Yeah, we don't want to go over with our faction leader and get killed by pirates. That would be very poor indeed. Thapsus is now very unhappy. Just from the faction they're leaving, I guess. Okay, I think we do need to recruit here, so let's get some more equites. Or should we go... I think we should go for Hastati, just because that's going to be slightly better for the public order situation. Carthage, I'm hoping, is going to fix itself, but I could be tempted just to go for some peasants. Just to tide them over, and that's all the money we have, so that's all we can do this turn. Units here still slightly weakened from the plague. Elsewhere, I mean, if Sicily does get attacked, it's completely screwed because we have nothing but large numbers of peasants there, but I think it's going to be fairly safe. This guy apparently is still stood up, which implies he has movement, but he doesn't. Diplomat here, I guess I could just walk him around just to look for Numidian armies, which there is one there. Don't really mind what that does. I think I'd ideally like to catch it out on its way back to the town. But even if it does fortify in the town, I think we should be okay. We probably will just recruit some mercenaries, just to make absolutely sure we can do that. And I think that's it for the turn. Some interesting developments over in Greece. It looks like Thrace is actually doing the most. They've captured quite a few towns. They've captured Campus Getae, which I can't remember if they have that at the start or if it's a Scythian town. But they're also taking most of Macedon's various towns and things, and the Brutii I don't have too much, although it looks like they are going to take a new town here. Once the Marian reforms come in, they're going to have no trouble at all defeating Thrace, so essentially we don't want that to happen for a little while. Recruitment report, we didn't build too much, that's not too surprising. Sewers are complete in Cirta, so they should be fairly happy for a while. We could get communal farming just for the extra income, which is definitely tempting, but public order's got to come first, so let's see what's going on with that. Most unhappy is Carthage. I'm not too sure what we can do for these guys. The Hippodrome is going to be too expensive. Arena is relatively cheap. I still can't quite work out why their squalor is up to 75%. Kind of difficult to explain. The awesome Temple of Vulcan would be great, but the amount it costs is very difficult to justify, especially because crop rotation would definitely get us some income that's sorely needed. Legion barracks for Principes. We don't yet have any Principe production on the African continent, so that's also very tempting.
Set sail!
No sign of the pirates yet, but we'll keep an eye out. It's fine, we'll leave that as it is. A couple of new family members. I think those are both women. I think the men get second names and the women don't. I'm not sure why, but that's how it works. Yeah, so that's going to be a big drain on our money. We need to get the Proconsul's Palace. Unfortunately, at the moment, we are kind of being forced to constantly spend money on palaces and things, which is necessary to keep public order. We will do it for now. I think we can go for 75% just for one turn. Keep the income coming in, and yeah, they're starting to accept that we're losing money now. I think we're good to push on. Let's see if we can...
Awaiting your command.
Interestingly, it looks like the Numidian army has stayed put.
General. Orders.
I'm not sure we can actually
Orders.
bring these guys into the fight.
Orders.
Essentially, if we go
Orders.
just here.
Forward! No more moves, sir! Orders, move out! Can't do it, sir!
We can't move far enough. Okay, is it tempting to... Yeah, I think we should actually just separate
Imperator.
cavalry from the Hastati.
Imperator! Imperator! Prepare for
No, that
battle.
doesn't work for some reason. I'm a bit surprised by that. Very unfortunate. We can see another army here as well. I think that's going to be okay to deal with. I do want to recruit
Orders.
the Lyric Slingers. Even though they're very expensive in terms of upkeep, I think they're useful to have. If these guys all combine armies and attack me, I'm going to be pretty thankful just to have an extra unit to use. +1 command for him as well, that's pretty useful. Unexpected bonus. We've got a strong rebel family member there. That could be a problem.
General.
I don't think this guy's going to cut it on his own. He would win the fight, but it's a case of he would be weakened enough that if the Numidians come to back up Nepte, I'm not sure he can do it on his own. I think it's still in his favour, we're going to give it a go. We can see a Numidian army here, in fact. Something fairly weak, I think we want to attack it.
Engage the enemy.
He tries to back off.
We can't do that, sir.
And that's all we can do this turn, that's fine. Let's... You guys have already moved, I think, yep. Let's see if we can now go and speak to Armenia. Numidian diplomats have travelled very far. But we don't want to cease fire with them just yet. We've made it to Armenia now. And... over here. We'll potentially start sending some Astarte over. Just in case we do decide to siege them.
General.
Although, mercenaries should work for that as well.
Attack. Out of move, sir.
Still no sign of any Numidian military to back them up, so that's good. Elsewhere we have no money, so we can't really do much else. We have recruited peasants already, but they haven't made much of a difference. They're down to 65% public order. I'm not sure what I'm missing here. The squalor is exceptionally bad. I think it's just the sheer size of the town. 22,000 population. I think that's possibly a result of me distributing slaves around. I might have to go full maniacal warlord and just start exterminating everyone from now on, because I think it's doing more harm than good to send slaves around at this difficulty. I think we do want to send another unit of peasants if possible, although that's not made Thapsus too happy. That's the best we can do for now. So it's not looking too great, but we'll keep trying to manage it as best we can. More rioting in Carthage. They've damaged the public baths, which is the one thing we had to actually deal with the squalor problem. I'm gonna have to just pay for that to be rebuilt immediately. And I think, yeah, we do need to build the arena just to try and stop us from outright losing the town. See if we can retrain some of these as well. Relatively cheap to do so. Found a Numidian agent in Leptis Magna. I think that's made them slightly happier to kick that guy out, but we can't actually do anything about him just for knowing he exists, so that doesn't really change too much. What have you got? Still no information on that. It's not a family member. It should be pretty easy to kill. Let's attack him first. He only has 20 men. I'm a bit surprised by that. He must have been weakened by something else, because it said he had at least 2 units. Definitely should have auto-resolved that. Maybe I'll edit this one out.
Engage the enemy. No more moves, sir.
Okay, that's that done.
Yes.
Was indeed just a pair of very weakened units, so not too interesting. Kepler has finished the Proconsul's Palace. I'm hoping this means we can now boost their tax rate. Not really. Not yet. Okay, that's kind of a shame. Most advanced faction. Don't really know what that means, but that's good. There's actually something I wanted to check, which is we should actually be able to see, from looking at the graphs, just how well we're doing in terms of military compared to our nearest rivals. If we check out Carthage, we can see that they're slowly starting to recover, which is concerning, but they definitely were very weakened by the war with us. Numidia are still technically stronger than them, but they have taken a blow. Still, it looks like they have some kind of military force left, so not total pushovers just yet. Spain, I don't know if they are actually going to attack us. It seems fairly unlikely until we actually go to Iberia. That's about it for now. I assume that our Roman allies are, yep. Julii at least are much stronger than us. End of turn report, we're losing money. No changes there. I'm hoping these guys will just keep rioting until they calm down, but that doesn't seem to be happening so far. In the meantime, let's see what's going on here.
Aye, aye, Captain. Aye, aye, Captain.
Still under siege. Looks like a very small Numidian force is responsible for that. Should just be able to drop off and push them away.
Off the boats. General, engage the enemy. Can't do it, sir. Attack!
2 turns till it surrenders, so we should be fine.
Fleet ready. Fleet ready.
Just join these guys together. And we're going to wait there for now.
Moves depleted, sir.
Elsewhere, I think I want to stay in Leptis Magna because I don't really want to fight this. It's three lots of peasants. You know what? Clearly, I should be fighting that.
Engage the enemy. Victory!
Presumably, I can still get back in time. I still don't want to auto-resolve it because... Actually, you know what? It's going to be fine. No, that's not fine. That's not fine. How did 3 units of peasants manage to kill 200 men and I didn't save it first? Oh, that's a... Okay. We're not going to use auto-resolve again in a situation like that. That was, that was cruel. On the upside, they're very happy now, for whatever that's worth. Let's bump them up to high tax rate. Try and get some men back after that disastrous loss. It wasn't a loss, but like that should not be anything like that costly. And I think I'll have a final check just for a stray Numidian army, but I think, yeah, we should be fairly safe there now. Leptis, it's about to get the Proconsul's palace, but it is very unhappy, so I think I'm still going to have to recruit one unit of peasants. Carthage will leave be. I think riots are pretty inevitable at 55%, unfortunately. We'll try and retrain, just in case it makes a difference. Cert is the obvious place to build new units, but we won't do that just yet. We might need the denarii elsewhere. Okay, they pulled back. So that should be very easy to beat. In theory. In practice, being outnumbered that badly might not go that well. I think we're going to need some Numidian mercenaries at a minimum. Possibly some Libyan mercenaries as well, just to distract them. I think we can afford that. We'll get one unit of them, and we will use that. We'll besiege them. Build a few rams, and hopefully they'll come and attack us rather than us having to actually wait them out. Not sure how the AI thinks about things like that, but hopefully they'll consider themselves to have some kind of advantage. Over here, they have recruited, well, they haven't recruited, but they got a new family member, so 2 family members now. That could be a problem, but this many units of equites should be okay just to surround them. We can in fact go straight in. I don't know if I'm confident about that though. I'm sure it could be done, and it's 7 turns to wait otherwise. Oh, it's definitely tempting. We'll save it and we'll have a go.
Engage the enemy.
Okay, looks like we've got an isolated general there. We can take him on his own. That would be ideal. Seems unlikely though. Unfortunately, in such a cramped space, it's kind of difficult to make it work, for certain. But we should be able to surround them. Looks like the spies actually damaged the gate. It's kind of surprising that they animate it like that, but there you go.
Our soldiers have done well this day. The walls are taken.
As yeah, they're mostly isolated there, but how do we want to do this? We do want to ideally surround them. We want to attack with everyone at the same time. We don't want to be in range of the missile cap because they will be able to do a lot of damage. As they do appear to be mostly bunched up. I think we're going to have to just charge in. Don't really want the equites going in first, but I don't think we have much of a choice. They're going to get routed pretty quickly. But we should beat the Numidian cav in the middle. Hopefully having our general here will make them feel a little bit better. Nope, we're already routing. Okay, it's most likely not going to go too well. Expecting to lose most, if not all. We should definitely beat the Numidian cav here. It's just a case of getting to the general.
Dead because of his foolishness. His men will lose heart.
Okay. He was definitely a promising general.
The enemy general is running away. This is no way for... The enemy show their true virtue. They are not soldiers, only frightened rabbits running from our men.
Okay, now is that worth it? I'm not sure. I think it is. We'll take the town.
This is a...
We can definitely replace that guy. It's not really a problem. He did look very promising, but he wasn't that good. He had like 2 command stars. He's not exactly irreplaceable. It's nice to actually have this part of Africa locked down. I don't regret sending the general in. I think we had to do that. If we didn't do that, the 3,500 Nari, let's do it. And they're still very unhappy. If we didn't send the general in, I think there was a serious risk of a mass rout there, so I think that's fine. We're just going to try and keep these guys happy for now. Let's get sewers. That should be fine. We should be able to bring in another general. And yeah, I think technically we probably could have done that without losing the general, but it's not a big problem.
Imperator.
Public order is not looking good pretty much anywhere. Let's see about this, 70%. I think 70% is okay. It's once you drop to 65, that's when you have problems. Syracuse, we can easily make that happy again. Sana likewise. Leptis though is going to be a real problem. Most likely going to start rioting as of next turn. Certa can go up to normal tax rate. I do want to get communal farming. It's going to pay for itself pretty quickly. Tingi is our new town. We sacrificed a good man for that, but it's worth it. A town is definitely worth a general, and a 7-day wait is pretty excessive for such a weakly defended town. That was pretty much the only way it could have gone down, I guess. We do have 1,500 denarii left in the bank. Not completely sure what to do with that. I think we'll get some equites. And we'll try and do some more construction. Equites are potentially slightly too expensive because that knocks us down below the 1,200 mark, and there are quite a few buildings you can get for 1,200, so I'm not sure about that. Syracuse would benefit from a temple to Neptune. Market will pay for itself at some point though. It's a tough choice. Also increases population growth, which in some ways is not really a desirable thing. So in that case we'll go for paved roads. It's a very similar sort of building. And if there is anything we can recruit for, 350. Velites seem reasonable, just to keep that safe in case an unexpected attack pops up from Numidia.
Orders.
And I think that's pretty much it for the turn. Has this guy moved? No, he's not yet.
I shall speak with them at once.
I can actually get a bit more money from these guys, I assume. Let's ask them for... As per usual, we'll start off at about 800, see if they accept that. Foolish generosity. Once again, they seem to be confusing generosity with conmanship, if that is a word. We'll offer them trade rights, and we'll go low with this. We'll just go with 300. They don't seem... Yep. They don't seem like they have too much money, so possibly need to go a little bit softer on them. We've got another diplomat up here. I was actually thinking it might be worthwhile to get an alliance
Speak with them at once.
with Britannia,
I shall speak with them at once.
if they'll accept it. Don't expect they'll pay for it, but we'll try. Ah, they do accept. Okay. That's good to have, because at some point Britannia is going to be pretty much the only thing left to fight against the Julii, and we want them on side, if we can keep them on side. Plus, I don't know how much of the British Isles they have actually successfully conquered, but I have a cunning plan which I may explain later. Elsewhere,
Awaiting your
I think
command.
we're pretty much done for the turn. Let's send this guy out just to look for stray armies.
Without delay. No more.
And end the turn. They haven't asked for a ceasefire, and they haven't attacked us either. Games will be thrown in my honour at the Senate's expense. I'm hoping that it just improves There's a Carthaginian port, that's not ideal. I'm not ready for war with them just yet. I could do it pretty easily though, and I don't think they're going to have too much to attack us with. Plus we should have some free units to potentially attack this island here. Lots of new recruits. I didn't see anything about rioting, so that's a good sign. Perhaps this has got the Proconsul's Palace, so they're slightly happier now. Still not too happy. I thought I'd already built something here. I suppose not. I was going to say we want the shrine to Vulcan, but that might not be necessary. We've already got it in Carthage. Might be better just to go the public order route and get the shrine to Saturn instead. End of turn report, making a bit more money, which is good. Most of it has come from, frankly, massacring the Numidians, but it had to be done.
Sir, without delay.
This town I definitely want to starve out. They have far more numbers than us. It's not going to go too well if we try and charge in and attack. These guys still aren't too happy, but we'll keep recruiting. We'll recruit Hastati this time, because they're going to actually be useful when we make a move against Spain. Before we start recruiting, let's see about towns and building. I'm sure there's got to be at least one place that's asking for a Proconsul's Palace. If not, then we finally have some kind of funding that we can actually spend on useful buildings, which would be a nice change. Capua seems like a good place for potentially an academy. I think academies do improve your generals. Yeah, so they kind of just feed in a gradual supply of characteristics and retinue to your generals, which is pretty useful. Just to improve them, and it makes me feel a bit better about losing so many generals over the last couple of parts. You guys cannot stand up to us. They clearly don't want to let go though. Let's push them off. And we seem to be stuck fighting the town, so that's fine, we'll besiege it. Build a couple of rams. Elsewhere, Carthage is still losing us money, but not too much now. I'm hoping the arena will make them pretty happy. And in our one town that's not building, Capua, I think we're going to go for... I think an academy in the capital city is always going to be very useful. Large Temple of Vulcan will be good for when we start building military, but we don't need it just yet. And that leaves us with quite a bit of money left to spend on military, which is always useful. In fact, potentially can use the denarii we gained from exterminating Tingi to potentially start looking for an additional force which we could use to potentially attack Sparta. Need to know a little bit more about that though. Can't be quite as easy as it looks. But I think we'll decide all of that stuff next time, so thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.